been doing some practice trades right now. It's 9 p.m. My time. Just been doing a couple of shorts here. I am on a different account now. I am on my own practice account, but I did a couple of trades here and here, which did come out pretty well. Were just shorts down. The whole idea was, we're failing to expand higher here. We're going to come down to this low. I did just get a short from this candle. Stop loss here. And I did try and get it down to there. I did try and get it down to here, but I had to take profit around here. I didn't expect it to just dump all the way down. It did get me out, but the whole basis of that trade was we was failing to expand higher above here to come back higher than here. I did miss a trade short coming down here. I saw this as on the 5 minute we had a range here that we already tested into. Right, we're in the middle of nowhere. We need to get down to these targets at the very least. Haven't tested into them. We're failing to expand above this small interior range. Instead we're sweeping out. If we're sweeping it, we can revisit down here. So the whole trade was going to be this. Take profit at this low. And then I was going to get a re-entry to go further down after that, which was here. So I ended up getting the first, I ended up missing the first one, getting the second one. Now we've still not got to our target, which is down here. If we can get if we can come up to here, and we can get a trade to continue down, or we fail to expand above here, we fail to expand above this higher, I can take a trade off of this order block here, my stop loss up here. This would be a lot better if it spikes as well. If we spike and we show failure, we already have a good looking rejection candle here that just got created last minute. Take a look on the 15. If we fail to hold this now, we closed. If we fail to hold this, I can look for a short down into that level. If not, and we close this like we have done, I'm just going to be waiting it out, letting it come up to here. Realising as well that we did close the more exterior low, so we can target all the way up to this order block. So I want to see a good conviction that it would even be holding this anyway. This is still looking pretty okay. If we can get something like so, risking $50 here. I was risking 25 beforehand. We'll just push up to 50 because that's how much you're risking anyway. I think you're risking 100 actually. I'm just gonna do 50. Now I'll do 100. Yeah, we'll do 100. So if we can, this is the thing, right? If we can close this now, this is our entry. If we can close this, it closes this range. So we can expect it to still trade up to here before we fall down. What I'm gonna do is have a stop sell ready at 5 minis. Failing to expand higher. We're failing to expand higher. We should at least revisit this low. Rule of thumb for me is once I'm filled, I wait 2 candles until that break even. That does count for the candle I'm getting at, so the next candle, if we're still hovering around, I break even regardless. We need a stop loss here. So this is expected, right? What we could have waited for is to show us if it's going to close. If this was to close, I'd be a lot more convinced that once we test up, we can go lower. This is still a pretty good look. We just have to realise as well, even if we close this now, we can still retest higher because we haven't closed that first low yet. That's what I'm looking at. Good looking candle. Nice looking rejection candle, big wick at the top. Not going to take this down for 150, I'm going to take this down to target, which is going to be all the way down to here for $292. Per an account. The more accounts you have, the more you make. So we'll take that down to there. This is a great looking trade. I will actually give it another minute here. This type of look normally looks like the next candle can swing up. Unless the candle looks like that, obviously I'm going to break even. I'm not going to be taking any losses on this now. Another thing you could have done here is, and you can still do, because it's not actually above this point, is we could take profit here, take a re-entry once we trade higher. But I'm just going to let it do its thing here. I think this is a great looking trade to continue lower aggressively. No reason to go any higher than this range. I will let it retest, and if we do push lower and reverse, I will trail it to the high of this candle here, wherever that may be. Right now I'm just going to leave it there. This does look quite unfortunate if this does come all the way higher. It can come higher, like I said. We would just be missing out on $100, which is around 1 hour right here, which is a shame. And we know that was obviously the first target. We was trying to get an aggressive move down. It's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, who cares? We'll just get the next trade. I would have most likely taken profit on a real account. It's a practice account. I can't say I'm going to do everything the same. Try and play for that bigger move. It's not like I'm risking anything. And then what I would do here is go for that re-entry. Right, this was the next trade. If you was to take profit here, you'd then get the next trade off of this. Stop loss up here. Take a look what's happening on the 15th second. Nothing really to comment on. Nothing to comment on here. I would like to enter at the midpoint of this, to be honest. Just in case that doesn't fill us now. Oh, sorry, my stop loss is 150. Okay, well, I just have it here. It's most likely the stop loss I'd have on my real account anyway, to set high this candle. And now this one, I would play it to the bottom here for 220. What we're looking for is some sort of range we can close down. So right now we're looking to close this swing low. Close that swing low. Gives us a first piece of confirmation that this is going to continue lower. Would have been a lot more happy if my stop loss up here in this trade. Not really anything I could do about that, other than what I could do is I could try and break even this and then get in the same trade of less contracts, limit sell free, get straight in, have my stop loss higher. But I'll be re-evaluating this in a moment to see if that is necessary, because I don't think it's necessary right now. We're not showing any signs to go higher in this time. If we do get a big wick on the bottom here, I will try and break even this. Big wick, shadow rejection, go lower. Push us higher. I mean, it could just push us higher into this candle to go lower, meaning we'd get stopped out, and then we'd be right in direction. And remember, we're trying to target 220 here, because that is the 15-minute low. Looks like we don't need that 3-minute anymore. Good trade so far, very good trades. Every trade I've taken so far has been a win. Like I was saying about the trades I had back here. Missed that one, that would have been a win. This would have been a win if I'd taken it out, it's break even. This is also a win if we can't get down to target. Now this is a break even worthy trade. Looking to take that all the way down into that low on the 15-minute. If we can close that low as well, that means we can ride deeper into this leg here, which is going to be the 4-hour. Already tried to hold the open of the 4-hour order block, meaning our next target is going to be all the way down to here. So if you was playing for the long run, this could be your next target, all the way down to there. But we scalp, so just leave that there. Because this is an exterior low as well, we can expect it to spike a bit further down, so you could always, at these exterior lows, you could always try and get a bit more out of it as well. It's kind of comes up to you, because you can kind of see it as being a bit greedy. When it's an exterior low, it does normally spike a good chunk, and in my personal experience, it does normally fall down like around $4, $4 to $5 at the most if we are going to change direction. So we could actually look at that. So let's quickly look at $4 is down. Okay, cool. Then we chuck that down. We could try and get that down to there. Get an extra $37 per an account as well. So the more accounts you have, the more that will be. It's a good thing about stacking accounts. So also as well, this could be another first target. Because we've already broken this down and this is the retracement up, I would play the second one all the way down. But if you was doing a fixed target every single time, regardless of the R, this would have been the first target. Take a profit there, and then the first trade we got, take a profit at the low. I don't know where my actual entry was, but yeah, that would be a first target as well. Looks like we're gonna lock that up as well. 257. I've been a bit greedier on this. Like I said, it's practice trades, but and just like that, that's what I'm saying. Every time exterior lows, it just spikes all the way down, and that means we locked up a lot more. Great trade. We can now expect to hover around this for. Oh, the candle literally just closed. That's lovely. This is a good time to get out of the trade anyway, because now we've closed this, we can retrace higher. Definitely retrace higher. Unless it shows signs of just an aggressive continuation down, which you're starting to already see. You close, never mind. You don't close that. This is something you should be looking for at these points. Are we gonna retrace higher, or are we gonna move down aggressively. A good look to move higher again is going to be a nice looking black candle, big wick down, tiny body. She's already shown us rejection to go lower. This doesn't look anything like that, so I'm going to assume it's going to go deeper. Right, we still have to close this on the hourly anyway, so we can expect it's going to continue dipping down here. Get rid of this. Where can we get a re-entry if it does come higher here? Because you got to remember, we have to stay under this in the next 43 minutes. So there's nothing saying this can't come higher before lower. We don't really want it to come any higher than the previous range, which is going to be this range here. This has been tested here. This is closed and tested. Okay, cool. I wouldn't be looking at this range anyway. It's been retested into closed. This hasn't been tested into before. It did before it was closed, not after. So I'd be looking at taking it along up and back into this range. So this is the look you're looking for, right? A nice looking rejection wick to continuous higher into that. Because it's such a volatile point, if you was to enter something this early, I wouldn't risk anything more than half an hour. Just cut your loss in half. It's a good attempt to try and move higher once you get the right framework for that. Right now there's nothing to go off of. Nothing at all. I'd want to at least see it close above this higher on the 15-second here, which is just gaining this order block. Gain this order block, we can move back down into it, and then we can try and go for that long higher, because like I said, we should, doesn't have to, but we should gap this range. Been tested into, we gap that range, go higher into the previous range that hasn't been tested on the exterior time frame. There's no range here on the exterior time frame. There's a range here on the exterior time frame. So remember, we're looking for that 15-second high to close. How's that closed? Yeah, it's close enough for me. I would take this trade now. So what I would do is I would risk only half an hour, so we'd only be able to do 1 minute. If we can get this, it might already just zoom all the way up. We'd be able to grab an extra around $100 per an account, bring the total up to 440. If we was to get filled, I don't think we will get filled, but this is something I would try. Like I said, not risking any more than half an hour here, even though we're $339 in the profit, which is 3.39R. I still don't really want to take a loss on this type of setup. There's no reason why you still can't get into this. We've not tested into anything, cause like I said, even if this was going to flip us, we've now tested into it. Okay. So maybe you could get rid of this now, because like I said, this shouldn't hold us, it still can. Meaning we would kind of just be getting straight into a failing trade. It's obviously going to be a lot better if we was in it and then it traded up here. I'd be break even now anyway, so this would just be something you would let run. Something else we could look at is maybe we close here. We don't test into this range out. We dip down into here and we can take that next long higher. You have to flip your direction when it's time to flip direction, right? Once you get to a target that you know you're going to flip at, you close the exterior low, you're going to come higher, right? close an exterior higher, you most likely can come lower. We're not looking to boom to the next target within 5 minutes, right? So we just kind of disregard those very aggressive moves to continue down. They're going to get you a lot of losses. Just not really a point of taking them. I don't tend to take trades off of the lows or highs ever, because they just don't really ever work out that often. You can see here, like, every time it doesn't really do much. Spikes goes lower, spikes goes lower, spikes goes higher, closes go higher, closes goes lower. It's not really the best trade to be taken. I'd rather actually take the opposite. You know, take the opposite. If you close here, looking good to continue lower, because, you know, every single time we shoot closes, come up to the opposing order block and then go lower again. We don't need those aggressive moves down every time. So we've came up to this. I'm going to look at this high here. This is the first high. Already looking like a good candle to continue higher. Big wick. We can close this now. We can look for that movement back down. With the current framework going on right now, I wouldn't be willing to take that short down. These type of candles here are not ones to play around with. At highs, this is literally the only scenario where I would actually consider longing at highs. We've got candles that look like this. Big wicks, small bodies, showing rejection to move lower. We've now got into our target, right? We're coming up into our target. Just close on the 15 minute. Right? It's close on the 15 minute and we can come all the way up to this order block. So, taking a trade here, right, could be a bit of a risky play. In the grand scheme of things, this is an interior time frame, interior range, to the exterior. I'd want to see a good reason on why I can take a short here. If there isn't one, I'm not gonna. As deep as the 1 minute order block inside of this range. It's going to be here. This would have been a really nice long if we was able to get into it. That would have locked up. I would just be trading this, to be honest. But right now this would have locked up an extra 100. No matter what now. Because like I said, we can come all the way up into this exterior. We can go as deep as the 1 minute inside of that exterior. So we could, in theory, there's nothing saying we couldn't go and trade all the way up into here. So we want to see a good reason why this is going to go lower here. I'm not going to have that on my screen anymore. Just look at your time frames as well. Does it actually look like it's setting up to go lower? Not in the slightest. The 15 second is not even a range. It's a 5 minute range, a 5 second range, a 15 second range. Okay, let's see this go. This can go retest up, hold that to create a new range. We can look at something here. If not, I can only assume it's going to go higher. Especially with the look of that candle. If this is a 1 minute time frame. Looking like that to go higher. So we can close this. This here. It's literally just the only low there is right now. Or, like I said, only time I'd ever long at highs, we're not actually at the high yet, is candles that look like this. Rejection to go lower, right? There isn't a risky you are, the more risky your entry is, the less you should risk. That's at least what I do. I'd never be willing to take a full loss if I was to go for something like this. If anything, something like this, I don't think I'd even risk anything more than 0.251. Or you can just not do it. It's always going to be the better option. Because it's not the best looking. Is there a reason to take a trade here? No. If this closed in this candle, yeah, I wouldn't mind it. But so we might be able to get that short actual position. So we can actually risk 100. First target's going to be 5 minutes. So, could look for something. Don't think we're going to get filled there. Just most likely going to be this one higher. Nothing we could have done there. Just waiting for a good close and a trade higher. If we was fast enough, which, I mean, actually, you wouldn't have even got that. 1 second, I didn't even trade higher. Yeah, so what I was going to say is, close the first low here, as you can see, this low, closed here. Could have tried to get, once it retested in the same candle, but on a 1 second time frame, didn't even retest. Back, which a lot of times you can have a pullback to go higher. I want to see a good rejection here, but then I can still take the same trade down. Rejection is going to look like this candle. Lovely. So if we can pull back lower again, take the same position, less contracts. I think it's free here. And we're just going to take a look. If this is a worthy sell, we traded higher, we did close that range. So yeah, I would take a trade here. Hopefully this doesn't miss us. 16, I'm pretty sure that's still... Yeah, we'll do 3 contracts and we can have a Oh, we can still do near enough, still do 100. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is try and take that down to first target's gonna be this order block. What we want to see here is trading that here and below is gonna be our first target here. So far, there's nothing wrong with this. We waited for everything we should wait for. We don't want to see it close above here. This is looking good. Would have been a lot better if we just closed this, right? Closed down. Would have been nice. This candle I'm not really liking the look of. Doesn't really mean anything. It's a 15-second time frame. It's not going to do too much. Could have also as well trailed to here, risking now $60. I will wait for it to close. Not gonna. Now I'm gonna close it. So what I'm looking for. Once we close this, we can test up. So do we really want to break even? Is the question, right? I don't. So I'm gonna leave it. All you're giving it benefit of the doubt of by break even is testing to here. I will break even very fast if we pull all the way up and don't close down. Other than that, I will let this run. So if we don't close this interior low here, this one, then I will break even. Didn't close, so I'm going to break even anyway. Hopefully it's coming out still, but I'm not too happy with that not closing. Did close on the 15-second, which is nice. Right, but it would have been a lot cleaner if it closed on E1 there. Nice looking trade. I wouldn't really say anything bad about this. There's nothing negative to say. A good thing to say is, regardless of how this closes, we will close that now. So we could actually move our position all the way back up to here. Alright. But I'm just going to leave it at we do return higher. Potentially it's going to rip. That's completely fine, but I would rather let it test higher, show me it's not going higher, take a re-entry trade there. That kind of needed, for me that needed to go down right now. For me to stay in that, it didn't, so I'm not going to bother risking that. So this is what I didn't want to let it do, but this is what it can do. I wanted it to move down straight away there, for me to stay in there. We did move down straight away, but we closed, so we can test higher into this and then dip lower. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, so if we're not expanding lower, we're going to continue creeping higher. So if we close this, that's going to be what I'm going to assume. If we don't close this, still assuming we can go lower into this range still. Yeah, first target is still. Not the best looking candles. Looks like the volume's getting a bit slower. I still have my stop loss at the same position, to be honest, all the way at this first high. You could have it here, to be honest. Nothing against them. Would mean you can do 3 minis, whereas here you wouldn't. But do you really want to take a risk to add more contracts? Take the gamble? Not really. How's this looking? Closed. Then didn't close the bottom. It looks like we're gonna continue higher here. And also we've got to look as well as we haven't tested the high of this range for this 5 minute. So this could speed the pullback. Create this fair value gap. Failed to expand lower, created this rejection candle here on the 5 minute. So we can now only assume we're going to go higher. Our target would be to close this on the 5 minute. So we should assume once we get here we should stay above here to try and come higher. So I wouldn't really even take this as target. We can close this and pull back into this. We can take that higher. Might not even get a opportunity here. Close the more exterior one. It's going to be better anyway. Don't really want to test into this. Does look like we're gonna. We do test into it. That's fine. It's fine. Is that a 15 minute high? It's a 15 minute high. Okay, so we should be closing this on the 15 minute. This looks like it is going to project us into the order block. So closing this, coming back down to here, take a trade higher. We've now just tested this higher. Where wouldn't I be taking a long once we test into this order block? So looking for a long if we can retrace down to go higher. Need to close this on the 15 minute. We've got 5 minutes to do that. Doesn't have to do it in this candle either. And let's push it higher. Gonna miss that. Hasn't hit the target yet. Hourly as well. Remember, we're looking to see if we can close this. If we're not closing this and we're sweeping this, then we can only assume higher in the long run. What's going to see if that's going to happen is if we fail to hold this candle, we just come back to here, definitely going to close those highs. So that's something I'm going to be looking at. I'd only assume shorts until we fail that. So we've hit the target now. It's the first place we can go to take us lower. Obviously you can go as deep as that 1 minute candle I was talking about, way higher into that. Levels of interest, and then the 5 minute, and I'm just going to bids. Could pull back, maybe get a trade looking like this. No, could have easily got 3 minis down. Up for about 180. Kind of 15 seconds in, you can see any early signs of failure to go higher. The only low we have is here. So we could do this. Close that low, maybe get retested into this. At that point you'd rather wait to see if it's gonna trade higher. Maybe it's a fair value. Then take a trade once it comes back lower again. How does this kind of close? Is this still a question? I'm gonna have a sell stop of 3 already, just in case. It's a nice look. Can bounce it to go higher. Remember, this is the place. 11 closing at 50. You know. I'm gonna try and take a trade here now. Material range can be used to take this lower down. Why don't I have a stop loss? Create my own. Okay, so now we're looking for a nice rundown into this range here. Remember, it can bounce and flip higher here, so once we get to that, it's definitely a point to break even. This candle definitely doesn't look good at all. We would be lucky to take a break even here with the look of that candle. Rejection to go lower here. It's a very unfortunate looking candle. Very unfortunate. I'd rather try and take a break even here, even if it does go down now, and try and get a re-entry. Unfortunate look, definitely an unfortunate look. And if this was a real trading day and I take a loss here, I would just cut it there. This is a video, so I'm still going to try and take a trade after this. This is literally the worst looking candle we could have hoped for. Maybe we should have waited. Definitely should have waited for that to close. Like I said, this is what I was waiting to close. It's very interesting that we didn't get stopped out there. Very interesting, isn't it? Very, very interesting how that didn't take us out and just ripped higher. Guess it is what it is. Kind of our fault for not having it exactly at break even. You know, you try and get $3 instead of losing 85, and you take that gamble of just $3. What a way to go out, huh? What a way to go out. Regardless if we close this, we're failing to expand lower. I don't know what's happened now. Failing to expand lower. Would have been nice to take break even there, but apparently it wanted to kiss my take profit and then go higher. So what I would have been looking for here is if it closes, it's failing to go lower, right? Take a long up into those levels. Or it's just gonna rip higher. Range, take a long hit. Take a nice long iron. Okay, exactly what I want to see. Sorry, I had to really quickly go to the bathroom. Reason why we got into this though is we failed to go higher into this wall block, holding the lowest fair value and the highest fair value up here. Failing to close this first range here, and got closed down here. Once we close down, we've closed down the other low as well. Good reason to go short, and we're looking to take that down into our target now. So like I said, you could skip this range. You could completely skip this range. Go all the way down to here. Just look at this low really, 427. Take those two. Oh, that's not the best looking candle, is it? No. What I was going to say, take those two frustrating losses. What can you do, really? What can you do? So we're looking close. Doesn't look like a beginner. That's a lot of movement higher here. Did we even close anything? No. Yeah, we closed this. Not really too fast. By an interior range. If that candle closes like that, that is a definite loss, I would say. Like typical this looking candle. This looks fine. So we close this. Once we close this, could be looking at break even. Anything we could have done, really. I mean, we could have obviously had our stop loss all the way up here. I have a small stop losses anyway. And that stop loss there would have given me some room. Less contracts, obviously. Could have brought it to here to have 3. If that closes like that big wick on the 5 minute, I'd be very convinced that this will go down. Very convinced. Save yourself a couple of dollars there. What's he doing? Remember, we're just looking to close this. We close that, we can reassess. I don't think I'd break even though, because like I said, what I just said about this, if I close like this big wick up, I'd be willing to let that lose here. What I'm actually going to do as well is just let this run. I need to go do something, so I'm just going to pause this. I'm not going to touch anything, and then we'll come back and see what happened. Yeah. Right, we're back, and looks like even if we just left this at break even, it would have still been in this. I'm gonna now move it to break even. Move it to break even. Close down here. This was the candle we got in at. It can test all the way up into this. Hoping it doesn't, because that would get us out. We could actually just leave it here if we're trying to play for that bigger move, to be honest. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Leave it there. We'll play for the bigger one. Good rejection right now. If we can close that. If we can close that low here, then I would go break even. I'd actually trail to the higher, or wherever it is. Looks like the higher might be put in place here. Obviously not going to trail it today, yeah. I would actually put a break even though. This is great. Great looking candle. Great looking opportunity. Okay, we just trade down to that. So I'm just gonna put it there now. See if we come on the way up. It's not gonna be a good look, is it? So now we can, if we close this, we can get movement back up into this. Looking to try and get this down, it's just low. Obviously I think it can go deeper, but this is... well, I mean, I think it's going to go all the way down to here. This is where I think it's going to go down to. But I think we'll be here for a long, long time. If we start trying to get all the way down to that. The video's been going for an hour and 20 minutes, so I don't really want to keep it going. Unless it just, if it dumps all the way down, and then I'd see if we can get this further down. Get all the way down into this really. All the way into this. Remember, we can test higher now into this range. 5 minutes looking pretty nice here. Thing is, I don't think this will retrace all the way higher if we do get down to that low. I do think it will continue lower. We could just leave it at that high, at 70, and try and play for the big move. That's what you would have to do. But I scalp. I don't play for bigger moves really. I kind of, when I get to that target, I always try aggressively. That's how I see it, as playing for the bigger move. If I wasn't, I would just get out at the target. Coming down into that target. This is kind of a nice place to trowel. Especially if the candle closes like that. For the sake of the video, let's leave it there. 70. I'll just put that flat at 1R really. With fees, it's going to be around here. Pretty sure that's 5 minis. Okay, so what I would do is this kind of closes all the way down. I'll leave this at 3R. 3R now. This is. I'll be willing to sacrifice 1R to see if I can get another 4 on top of what I wanted to get. Yeah, I'm fine with that really. I don't, like I said, I don't think it will go any higher than here right now. It still can, obviously, but if I was to have it all the way up here, this video will be dragging on, and it's already 10:30 PM. I normally go to sleep at about 9:30 PM. That's how we're going to take us out here. I'm just going to trail it to here. And there we go. Cool. Good trade. If this was a real trade, I would have just taken profit there. Obviously. For the video, I was trying to get to the lowest point. But regardless, great trades really. The only trade I took that loss on was here. In my opinion, it still should have been a break even. I do hate it when it goes exactly to your thing and doesn't get you in. I feel like it should trade to that level and just take you out really. Or get you in when you're trying to get in a trade, but that's how it is, unfortunately. Good trades really, really good trades. Up about 700. No. Okay, so 579 across all of the accounts here. 579. It's lovely. And just like that, it's continuing lower. Like I said, I think obviously plan for the bigger move. I didn't think it was going to go higher than this. I do think it was going to continue all the way down, break this low. You know, we closed this, we came up, so we should come all the way down, right? That's exactly what will happen. But yeah, I'll end it here anyway.